Good morning, we hope you're well. We thought that we would do you guys a little video about our previous trips, just to give you some background on what we've done in the past, leading up to obviously our holiday in September this year. So first trip, we went to Disneyland Paris, and that was quite shortly after I threw you in at the deep end, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was the winter 2013. And we just decided that we wanted to get away.
I decided I wanted to go back to Disney.
Yeah.
That's what happened there. You were very reserved still at this point about going to Disney, because you weren't really into Disney as a kid, were you?
No, so I had no relationship with Disney. You wanted to go back,
yeah,
just as a break over Christmas, and I was kind of, all right then, if we have to.
Yeah, but you weren't expecting great things from this holiday, were you?
No, I was expecting to pay a lot of money for not a lot, if I'm being perfectly honest.
And what actually happened?
So you booked it all, you organised and planned everything.
Yeah.
So we stayed at Hotel Cheyenne, which is just one of the Valley resorts.
Yeah.
But the moment we walked in and we checked in, and we went the wrong way to our room, so we went through the car park and round, and we walked into like the main town square, because it's set like a Wild West town, and my jaw just hit the floor.
Yeah. I was following behind Nick at that point and sort of carrying bags and everything. I saw him stop as we cleared into the town centre bit, and literally he just stood there and dropped his bags and just had this massive smile on his face, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I sort of like, if you think this is good, wait until you get into the parks, because you had no preconception about what to expect at all. So it was quite fascinating watching you experience that.
Yeah, so my expectations of the theme park was UK theme parks, so Alton Towers, Thorpe Park, Chessington, and I hadn't been to one of those for 15 odd years, probably more.
Yeah. So
I wasn't expecting the theming, I wasn't expecting any of the level of detail that Disney do. I think that was the big thing that got me.
Yeah. So we were there at Christmas. We went from Boxing Day, is that right?
Yeah, Boxing Day till New Year's Eve.
Yeah, and having been to a Disney park myself before, and to Paris before as well, I was expecting it to be very, very busy. Obviously, Christmas time is one of the peak times in the park. You thought I was crazy for making a touring plan before we went, because what holiday needs an actual spreadsheet? You thought I was completely mental, and then we got there and I think you kind of understood then.
Yeah, I think when we walked into the park for the first time, and even going through security, I saw how busy it was, and I was kind of like, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Because again, I've never been anywhere that was that busy. And the touring plan really, really helped us to get round where we wanted to go.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't get everything done. Obviously, the wait time, when it's busy, the wait times are pretty horrendous, and you just kind of have to suck it up. So we didn't tick everything off on that list, did we? But we got the big stuff, the main things that we knew we wanted to do, done, which is important.
Yeah.
So.
And thanks to extra magic hours, I did Space Mountain
6 times in a row.
6 times in a row. And
I sat and waited in the cold, because I don't particularly like roller coasters, not the big ones anyway. So yeah, that was our first trip.
Yeah.
And then 2 years later,
yeah,
we went back, but in January, and that was actually for our honeymoon. So we honeymooned at Disneyland Paris. And then completely different holiday, basically. We stayed at Sequoia Lodge, and it was the quietest I think I've ever seen any Disney park. Obviously, being January, it's going to be a quiet time anyway, but there was like 0 crowd level. you did RC Racer, didn't you? And it took you longer to walk the queue system all the way through than it did actually to ride the ride.
Yeah, and I got to the ride and the cast members were like, where do you want to sit? I was the only person on the ride.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, it was probably one of the best Disney holidays we've ever had. And no ride we waited more than, I think, about 20 minutes was like the maximum that we waited for something.
Yeah, so Ratatouille had opened up the summer before, and that was the only ride we had to queue for, but actually I'm glad we had to queue for that.
Yeah, the theming in the queue line on that ride is exceptional.
Yeah.
It's very immersive, and yeah, one that we definitely love. So then we went to Florida.
Yes.
It was the first time that Nick obviously had been. Is that the first time you've been to America?
It's the first time I've been to the States, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went to Orlando, and that was in February, March 2017. And we actually went with 2 friends on that trip. They were at a point where they'd always wanted to go as well, and they could finally, you know, in a position to be able to afford it. So we went as a group of 4. It was actually my second trip to Orlando, so again the planning fell to me.
Yeah.
And again everybody thought I was mental. Thought I was completely crazy for doing a plan. Thankfully, obviously February, kind of March time, leading up to spring break, is a little bit quieter in Orlando. So again, we needed the plan at some points, but other times we didn't.
Yeah.
But we still got through an awful lot, and that was quite an epic holiday, wasn't it?
That was, I think, by far and away the best holiday I've ever done.
Yeah.
And for me, I think just Epcot just blew me away. It was Flower and Garden anyway, so there was a bit more going on. But just walking around, just going in the different pavilions, just looking at, again, how much effort Disney go into to bring these things alive. It's just amazing, the work that goes into everything, just to give you that completely immersive experience. You can't beat Disney.
You can't, you really can't. So yeah, that was a 2-week holiday. We stayed at Port Orleans French Quarter.
Yeah,
that's the right one, isn't it? Yeah. Fantastic hotel, really nice hotel.
Yeah. And
we also had a dining plan on that trip. When I've been previously, I've stayed off property and we've been self-catering, and personally, just for me, I find it very expensive. You end up with a lot of your spending money going on your food. So we decided to do a dining plan for that trip, in the hope that it would save us a bit of money, and to be honest, I truly believe it did. It's not for everybody, but it's something that we now will always do, especially on the Orlando and Florida holidays. So we ate at a lot of nice restaurants.
Some lovely restaurants. Very
good. Some of which we have booked for our trip again in September. But that's for another video, so you're going to have to wait, sorry. But we had a blast.
Yeah.
We also did Universal on that trip as well, and Islands of Adventure.
Yeah.
How did you find those parks?
So I love Universal, but I'm a massive roller coaster fan. Anything that is adrenaline fueled, high speed, going upside down, twists, pulling G's, I love. You hate.
I'm not a fan. I don't like to be upside down. I'm a creature that likes to be right side up at all times. I don't like that, you know, that feeling when your stomach flips.
Yeah.
I'm really not keen on that feeling, so I'm not a big fan of proper roller coasters. But you had an absolute blast at that park. Yeah,
I loved it, and again, it was really quiet. So we did, I think, Rip Ride Rocket 4 times in a row. It was great to do. I don't know if I want necessarily to go back next time.
We've not planned to do Universal on our upcoming trip, mostly because I think we want to just remain in the Disney bubble. We feel that we've done Universal and that actually we wouldn't do it again for quite a while, until perhaps there are some different bits and pieces there. Yeah, just we're going to give it a miss this time around. We're not saying that we won't ever do it again in the future.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
And our most recent trip was January 2018.
Yeah.
So we went back to Disneyland Paris for several reasons. Firstly, I had the Disney blues, so I begged you.
You did.
And we went back. We also went at the same time as our anniversary, so it was also an anniversary holiday. And again, being January, it was quite quiet.
It was a little bit busier because they
Yeah.
had Seasons of the Foresight.
Yes,
So
that's true.
that started when we were out there, and again the first sort of 1-2 days were really quite quiet, and then the park was mobbed.
And that fell on a weekend, didn't it?
Yeah.
So it was naturally more busy anyway. So that started on the Saturday. But again, something that we enjoyed.
Yeah, love it.
We got a lot done.
Yeah, and we did a few things that we hadn't done before. So I think my favourite was we went to Chez Remy.
Yes, Bistro Chez Remy, the restaurant in near the Ratatouille ride. One of the best themed restaurants I think I've ever seen on Disney property.
Yeah.
You are, so akin to the ride, you're shrunk down to the size of a rat, and you are in the rat's restaurant, and your chairs are made out of champagne corks. There's leaves and ivy and little, or rather very large, fairy lights as the lighting in the ceilings. It's a beautiful restaurant, and the food was rather good as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, the food was I can't fault that restaurant at all. I think that's, even some of the restaurants we went to in Florida, I think that's one of the best Disney restaurants I've eaten at.
Yeah, it was nice food.
Yeah.
It was nice food. So yeah, that's about it. That's you guys up to date. All our previous trips, as we say, we're planning to go back in September. We are going to Florida for 10 days.
Yeah.
And we are staying at the Art of Animation Resort, so again on property. We will do another little video about the planning that we've done so far and what we've got to put in, what we've got left to do, things we've got to book. So yeah, we will keep you updated. But for now, thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon.